Hey guys! Welcome back to our channel. I'm Donovan.
And I'm Chanel.
And this is episode 2 of Self-Love Sunday. And today we're going to be talking about vulnerability. So the reason that we're talking about vulnerability is because we had one of my really good friends over from my time in YWAM. If you don't know what YWAM is, go check out our first video called Our Story. It'll give you a full explanation. But Chanel had only met her one time for like 40 seconds at our wedding. And so we had her over for dinner because we wanted to catch up and just see how life was going. And so we were having a great evening, had dinner, pretty questionable dinner, but sorry once again, friend, if you're watching this. But she started asking us some really good questions about life and our marriage and our time dating. And we were able to be really vulnerable with her. I know that she's a safe person, and Chanel just like instantly bonded with her, and yeah, she was asking us these good hard questions and we were able to be vulnerable with her, and it really blessed us and it also really blessed her. And so she ended up even thanking us at the end of the night for just being so real with her. So it just goes to show you like how good vulnerability is for everybody involved. So for the person that's being vulnerable and for the person that is that's receiving someone else's vulnerability and listening to it and encouraging and sympathizing and empathizing with them. Yeah,
I feel like vulnerability is kind of a topic that is like funny but not funny. You're like, because vulnerability can be so hard and so uncomfortable, and like even to a point where it hurts to say what you've been hiding for so long, but it is incredibly necessary. And I think that it's really easy to be like, this is all the good things in my life, but it is really hard to go to the bad and the ugly things. I learned a lot in YWAM, like God taught me so much, but I think overall when I came out of it, just looking back, is how necessary vulnerability is. Because I literally would not have gotten anywhere close to the amount of like freedom and healing that I got if I hadn't stepped out in faith and stepped out into that vulnerability to just be like, this is where I'm at. I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and this is who I am. And I think that we kind of shy away from that because it is really hard, and you don't want to show the parts that you've been hiding. You don't want to say what's been done to you or what you've done, or just things that are just so hard for you to even speak out. But yeah, it is so necessary to do it, because that's where growth comes in, that's where connection comes in, that's where friendships that like literally last forever fall into place, because you're going there, you're being real and being like, my life is not perfect, I am not perfect, this is where I'm at, and I need help. I need to talk about it, and I need to bring it into the light so it's not in the dark. To go back on kind of the relationships that can come from it, like when we were sitting there having dinner, I was literally in awe that I had only met her basically not even once, but like this is the first time we were sitting down and talking, because like I just felt like I instantly knew her. And like when you go into that deep stuff, you create such an incredible bond, and just like, I can't even really fully explain it, which is why you need to try it.
So Chanel, why don't you tell us a little bit about your time in YWAM?
If any of you guys know me, I'm like a pretty open book. Like, I'm good to kind of just tell you where I'm at and stuff. I mean, like, well,
pretty open book.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have a crowbar. Come on.
Okay, so I'm not a fan of vulnerability, but I will do it. But what I'm trying to say is that like, if you've met me, I've at least told you some story that I've walked through in YWAM. So like I said, I learned a lot in YWAM. And one of the things that like, I really had to walk through, you're just smiling and I can't. One of the things that I really had to walk through in YWAM was my self-worth and just not feeling that I was beautiful and all these things that were literally just like eating me alive. And so I understand how hard it is to walk into something and to like speak the truth and just admit that this is the way that you're feeling. And I had somewhat done it before I went to YWAM, and a lot of people just like were like, how could you think that? Like, you're just trying to get attention, when really like I was actually so burdened by it and it was affecting me so much that I think because of like past ways that it had been brought up and been dealt with, I was so terrified to bring it to the light. and thinking that people wouldn't take me seriously and people wouldn't be like,
Judge you.
I'm here for you and I'm gonna hug you and we're gonna cry together. Like, it was a very different experience, but it was also very hard and I was incredibly scared, and in the end it turned out to be such a blessing. And even in the middle of it, like, it hurts, but like as soon as you get past that, the freedom that's there is amazing.
I think that it's like really important to say also with vulnerability is like, don't just go like be vulnerable with the world and like post your deepest darkest secrets online, because that's just not safe. Like, that's not smart, right?
Yeah.
But we would really encourage you guys to like find somebody that you can be real with, because like Chanel said, like when you don't have stuff kind of out in the open with somebody, at least it can just kind of like fester inside you and grow, and
you live in such fear and such like self-hate.
yeah, anxiety and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But if you can get it out into the open with somebody, it's just like so good for your soul and so good for you, because you'll find out that you're not the only person dealing with it. That's like one of the biggest lies that people always kind of hear. You always hear people say is like, I felt like I was the only person that ever experienced this. But it's important for you to realize that you're not alone. So that's the first thing we want you to realize. And number two, find that safe person and just talk to them and be real with them with where you're at in life, and encourage them to be real with you, because it goes both ways.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if you don't have somebody that you feel like you can do that with, reach out to a professional, maybe a counselor or something like that, and they'll definitely be able to take care of you in a way that will make you feel safe, where you can move forward.
Yeah. So, you know, lean into that discomfort.
Yeah.
Get that connection started, all that.
And Chanel is good at vulnerability.
I'm a lot better than I used to be. I sucked at it, man. Before I went to YMO, I sucked. I literally didn't want to talk about anything.
I just like to tease her, but she is really good at it.
And you are very, very understanding and patient.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay. So that's episode 2 of Self Love Sunday, guys.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe so you don't miss out.
We love you guys so much, and we'll see you soon.